Whether you like it or not, race defines who we are and how we are treated as people. In a perfect world, a person's race would not matter. Unfortunately, this is not the case, and it doesn't look like that is going to change anytime soon. Feelings of racial discrimination are overwhelmingly present in the United States today. This creates a social issue that is both controversial and torrid. Since it is so present, you might be wondering, what is it that makes solving this social issue so full of difficulty and tribulation? I've narrowed it down to 3 things. The first is that people tend to make judgments about others based on their race. Racial stereotypes and racial profiling are both common in the United States. Racial stereotypes are often used by people to determine what people of other races are like, how they will act, and what they will do. Shows like Orange is the New Black use them to add depth to an already controversial plot that often contrasts with people's views. Racial profiling, on the other hand, has become more relevant recently. A prime example is the reaction to Muslim terrorist attacks in the United States. Many people are choosing to believe that all Muslims are bad because a group of radical Muslims committed an act of terrorism. As long as there are still people who think that way, this social issue will never go away. The second cause is that despite living in a country where everyone is supposed to be equal, people still show an inherent racial bias. Throughout the history of the United States, racial inequality has been a constant factor. It began before the country was even officially founded. Until the Civil War ended in 1865, African Americans were owned by whites. African Americans did not truly become free until 1964 due to segregation. At the same time, the notion that whites are the superior race in the United States was and is still being passed down from generation to generation. Per Jeff Nesbitt of U.S. News, almost 90% of white people in America who take an implicit association test show an inherent racial bias for white people versus black people. Orange is the New Black acknowledges this in the episode Whack Pack. While the inmates were campaigning to their respective groups, Kentucky tried to gather support by saying that there should be a white-only bathroom. Tasty responded to this by saying that it was not the help. This scene not only referenced another movie that pertains to this issue, it also showed its viewers that this kind of thinking still exists. The third cause of tribulation with this social issue is that, for the most part, people of different races tend to lead different lives. A lot of the time, different races live in the same area, have the same kinds of jobs, and share different beliefs. While this is definitely not always the case, it is still something to pay attention to. In Orange is the New Black, the separation can be seen in almost every episode. When the inmates eat, they usually sit with other people of their race. Each group also usually works at the same place. In a country where this kind of separation exists, it is almost impossible to get people to come together. Ironically, these causes also show the solution to this social issue. Everyone must come together, stop being inherently biased towards others, and stop making judgments about others based on their race. A person's race should not have any impact on their life. As time goes on, hopefully what is for now still an idea will become a reality.